Did you know that approximately 1 in every 25 people could be classified as a sociopath? This statistic comes from the National Institute of Mental Health, which estimates that about 1% of the general population has antisocial personality disorder, a condition closely related to sociopathy. We all encounter peculiar individuals occasionally, those we might label as socially awkward due to their odd behaviors. But have you ever considered that some of these people might be sociopaths hiding in plain sight? Today, we will delve into 15 psychological signs that someone is secretly a sociopath. So, if you've ever wondered whether that mysterious colleague or the neighbor who gives you an unsettling smile is a sociopath, buckle up for a fascinating journey of discovery. Before we dive into these psychological signs, let's take a moment to understand who exactly a sociopath is. This understanding will be key as we explore the traits that may reveal the sociopaths among us. A sociopath is someone who has a hard time understanding and feeling what others feel. They often act in ways that break rules and can be manipulative or deceitful. Sociopaths might not feel guilty about hurting others and may struggle to form genuine emotional connections. Think of them as people who live by their own rules without much regard for how their actions affect those around them. Understanding why someone might develop sociopathic behavior, clinically known as Antisocial Personality Disorder, ASPD, is a fascinating and complex topic. There isn't a single cause, but rather a web of genetic, environmental, and psychological influences that unite uniquely. Let us take a look into the psychological aspects and highlight 15 behavioral signs that can be easily identified. 1. Manipulative charm. Do you know that colleague who always seems to have everyone wrapped around their finger with their charming smile and friendly demeanor? Well, here's a little secret. A classic sign of a sociopath is their knack for charming people into believing they're as delightful as they seem. Behind all that charm, though, there might be something more sinister lurking. So, next time you're dazzled by someone's overly friendly behavior, it might be worth taking a closer look. 2. Arrogance. Here's another secret sign of a sociopath to keep an eye on: arrogance. Sociopaths often have an inflated sense of self-worth, believing that everyone should do their bidding because they see themselves as superior to the average person. If you notice someone who seems to think they're above everyone else, you might want to pay attention. 3. Lack of genuine empathy. One of the most glaring signs of a sociopath is their complete lack of genuine empathy for others. Imagine sharing a tragic event with someone, and instead of comforting words, you're met with a blank stare. That's exactly how a sociopath might react. They just can't connect with others emotionally, and their response often feels cold or distant. 4. Emotional ignorance. Sociopaths often have a kind of emotional ignorance when it comes to other people's feelings. This might be a deliberate way for them to avoid social gatherings, but more often than not, they cannot genuinely understand the emotional states of others. If you notice someone who seems clueless about how others feel or who seems indifferent in social situations, that's a big sign you might be dealing with a sociopath. It's something to watch out for. 5. Disregard for right and wrong. A sociopath doesn't care about right or wrong. They often believe their opinion is superior to everyone else's, and they go ahead and do whatever they feel like, with no thought about the consequences. If someone acts like the rules don't apply to them, that's a strong sign you might be dealing with a sociopath. 6. Impulsive behavior. Impulsive behavior is a major sign of a sociopath. They often act before thinking, making hasty decisions in the heat of the moment. This impulsiveness is usually tied to their lack of regard for others. They rarely consider how their actions might affect those around them. Instead, they only think about how it affects them personally. If you notice someone who consistently makes rash decisions without considering the consequences, it might be a sign you're dealing with a sociopath. 7. Plays the victim. A sociopath often loves to play the victim in every situation. They crave attention and want everyone focused on them. So if you're ever in a confrontation with someone who consistently acts like the victim, even when it's blatantly clear they're in the wrong, you're likely dealing with a sociopath. They'll twist the truth to make themselves appear innocent, trying to get others to sympathize with them. It's a manipulative tactic designed to shift the blame away from them and onto others. 8. Plays the hero. Not only do sociopaths love to play the victim, but they also tend to play the hero. They want to be seen as the hero in every situation, seeking the admiration and sympathy of others around them. By positioning themselves as the savior, they try to get into the good books of everyone, even when they're not the hero of the situation. It's just another manipulative tactic to gain attention and control how people perceive them. 9. Control others with threats and aggression. Another psychological sign of a sociopath is their use of threats and aggression to control others. Sociopaths often have an impulsive need to be in control, especially in social situations, and they'll resort to intimidation and aggressive tactics to make sure things go their way. If you notice someone using threats to manipulate people into doing their bidding, it's a clear red flag that you might be dealing with a sociopath. 10. Lack of remorse. A sociopath cannot be remorseful, even when they know they're in the wrong. They tend to ignore other people's feelings and focus solely on their own emotions. A clear psychological sign of a sociopath is someone who can't bring themselves to say sorry. You might notice that friend who, no matter how badly they offend you, never apologizes. Instead, they'll shift the blame to someone or something else. This inability to admit fault is a big red flag that you're dealing with a sociopath. 11. Hidden intentions. Ever encountered someone who always seems to have a hidden agenda for everything they do? They never do anything for others without expecting something in return. Well, that person might just be a sociopath. Sociopaths have mastered the art of lying and deceit to get what they want. So, when you come across someone like that, be careful, because there's almost always something they're not telling you. 12. Superficial relationship. Another psychological sign that someone might secretly be a sociopath is the kind of relationships they keep. Sociopaths tend to form superficial connections and make no genuine bonds with those around them. Their relationships are often based solely on what they stand to gain from the other person. If someone seems to only befriend people for personal gain, it might be a sign they have sociopathic tendencies. 13. Risky behavior. A clear indication of a sociopath is someone who loves taking unnecessary risks. Sociopaths are known for their risky behavior, doing things that most people wouldn't dare to try. This behavior often stems from their desire to be the center of attention at all times. So, if you have a friend who keeps tempting fate and daring danger, that person might just be a sociopath. 14. People charmer. One psychological sign of a sociopath, a person who has a personality disorder characterized by a lack of empathy and manipulative behavior, is their relentless drive to charm everyone into liking them. They always want to be in everyone's good graces because it helps them manipulate others and dodge responsibility when things go wrong. A sociopath may seem incredibly charming and welcoming, but beware, it's all part of their ploy to get on your good side. Underneath that charm is a calculated attempt to exploit and control others. 15. Outburst of anger. Most of the signs we've discussed involve anger and aggression, and this last point is no different. A clear sign of a sociopath is their tendency to have outbursts of anger over every little inconvenience. They often flare up when things don't go their way, and some might even throw tantrums from time to time. So, if you have a neighbor who loses their cool if you don't mow your lawn on time, that could be a red flag to watch out for. We've covered a lot of ground on how to spot signs of sociopathic behavior, But keep in mind that just because someone exhibits these traits doesn't mean they're automatically a sociopath. People can show these behaviors for all sorts of reasons, and a real diagnosis requires a professional evaluation. So, if your neighbor gets a bit grumpy over a lawn mowing delay, don't start a neighborhood watch just yet. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more intriguing content. And of course, hit that bell icon so you're always updated with our latest uploads. We love hearing from you, so drop your questions, stories, or any burning thoughts in the comments below. We promise to read them all, and maybe even share a laugh or two. Thanks for joining us, and we'll catch you in the next video.